Hey guys, Doug with Pinetree Line Productions. I'm here with my friend Allan Bow Beauchamp, and for this episode we are looking at probably one of the most common things or themes of the outdoors community that I've run into anyways, is fire starting and common ways of fire starting. And Al, you got a bunch of stuff here. Let's dive into it. What do you think?
Okay, Doug. Today there's a lot of stuff that you can buy for fire starting. Some of these things will be familiar to a lot of people. This is more of the conventional stuff that you would find at maybe at an outdoor store or maybe at a hunting store, Canadian Tire, that kind of stuff. So there's lots of different options people have today. There's ferrocerium sticks, fire steels people call them. There's different styles of them. I've got traditional lighters, today's lighters, little fire starting kits, very strong lighters. So what happens is some of these items, if you don't want to use matches in the bush or you don't want to use lighters and you want to try your skills, ferrocerium is a great way to work the little fire steels. They're fairly inexpensive, they're easy to use, they last quite a while. If you get some of the upper end ones like I have on the far side there, you'll have them for years. They work great, they're more manageable.
They're fun. They're actually, it's a fun skill.
It's a lot of fun. It's a good skill to try.
Fun skill, and again with ferro rods of that size, even the smaller ones like these here, which I think I have one of these. I think it's a Swedish one, and even that size. There's a lot of fires in there.
Yeah, and they work pretty good. What I had done one time as an experiment is I paddled up the river one time and I'd taken one of the ferro sticks that you can buy, and I actually left it on the shore and tied it to a branch so it would stay in the water. And 5 years later, I went back to see it. So I took it out of the water and I tried it and it worked. There was no issues and stuff. So
wow.
It's certainly robust. It's for the price, you can't beat them. There's some high-end ones, some low-end ones. So I say till you get used to using them, buy a couple low-end ones, try them, play with them, see what you like. If you think that's the skill that you like, or if you just want to light your lighter and be good to go, that works too. But it's a great skill to have, because a lot of times some of these items, maybe you lose them or they don't work, or you just want to challenge yourself and try the skills.
In the bushcraft community, of course, starting fires with, say, like something like a bow drill, something of that nature, a natural way of starting, how does that kind of compare in terms, do you look at somebody who uses a Bic lighter any less than you do to someone who can use a bow drill? Like,
I'll tell you something in all fairness. Coming from a guy that started a fire with a fireboard in 40 below zero,
yep,
and starting a fire with 2 stones. I produced the first video in the world of starting a fire with 2 stones.
This is true.
If I can go in the bush today with a Bic lighter and start a fire in 2 minutes, that's the wisdom. Somebody's already figured that out. However, it is an option, but it takes skills, it takes time. You really have to know what you're doing. You really have to have the faculties to do it.
So another important thing I think is tinder. So what do you suggest for tinder? Are we bringing tinder with us? Are we collecting tinder while we're out in the woods?
As a first layer, I always recommend bringing tinder with you. You can buy tinder blocks. There's a variety of different items that you can buy today. If you can't afford it or you want to go simple, lint from the dryer works just as well.
While you're walking in the woods, you can always collect, I know around here birch bark's pretty common, but there are many other different options for tinder in the boreal forest, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I always carry a lighter with me no matter what, even when I'm at work. It doesn't matter, I'm always carrying a lighter. Do you do the same?
Yes, absolutely. I carry a lighter too. If I got hurt in the bush today, there's a lot of skills I would have to bring out to get the fire going, and I've been around and I'm capable and I probably got a better handle on it than most folks. But if I can pull out a lighter and get a fire going now and move forward with stuff, I always tell people, when you're in the bush, don't play bush. If you need something, have that item. If it's a lighter, use the lighter. If I have the option of going to something else, or I have the faculties, or mechanically I can go to something else and I want to go that route, I'll certainly do that. But most times when you need fire now.
Absolutely. And given the conditions, like here in a cold weather situation, but you can get into some really rainy situations, and that too can pose some issues if you don't have. And that's why I like the idea of having some tinder on you or in your pack. Just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, if you can start a fire with a flame, it's a lot better than starting it with a spark.
And that goes back to the whole thing of, using a Bic lighter is it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's not traditional, but it's not a bad thing. One of the things I did want to mention is you told me about your a fireboard, spending time with Morris Kachansky, who liked your fireboard and thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, over the years of doing the variety of fireboards that I have and using them as much as I had, in a lot of different environments. I've done fireboards in 40 below zero and stuff, and from the amount of time that I spent and the amount of fireboards that I'd made, I started experimenting and playing and trying different things and looking for more efficiency of energy or seeing if there was better options. And just from playing with it as much as I had, I ended up developing two spindle fireboard, which was a great little system, but it actually takes a lot to make it work. But once it works, it's kind of neat in its own. And when I was showing Morris, he was impressed with it, because he felt that a lot of times in the survival community, there's a lot of folks that'll just forward stuff on, or something will get just passed on based on regurgitated again. Yeah.
Right.
So he found that was something that actually contributed to the survival community, which I was grateful for, and it was a great little system. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was a good talk. I'm a big advocate of, if you can get something at home, if you can get something from the store when you first walk in the bush, that's really your first line of defense. So walking in the bush with nothing, to me, is a fool's plan. It's nothing wrong with taking a pack and having half decent gear.
So you're not proving anything by not bringing anything with you.
So to me, it's good to use these items. And I mean, we're going to use matches, we're going to use lighters, certainly we're going to use homemade tinder, we're going to find bush tinder, we're going to use some conventional items that we see on the table. But we're also at some point going to take some of these items away and start dealing into traditional items, whether it be the hand drill or the fireboard, and then that'll give you an opportunity and a chance to see what that skill is all about, increase your skill set at the same time, give you more confidence and comfort in the bush.
Just an overview of what Al likes to have in terms of common fire starting implements and tools. Also a little bit about tinder. Again, Al, thanks for bringing all your stuff out here. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on, and look forward to meeting up again. Thanks for watching. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Our website is ptloutdoors.com. Give us a like or a dislike or subscribe. I mean, that would really help the channel, and you're going to get to see more great stuff like this. All coming aboard and doing these things and giving back to the outdoors community is just fantastic. Love it. Thanks again, Al, for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time.